Yes, I am the ghost face. Yo. Happy Halloween, guys. I'm not sure when I'm gonna post this video, but I am definitely gonna try that I'm gonna post this video at least near to the Halloween because I'm pretty much late to this. I know. Yeah, I know. I have posted it after Halloween. I was very busy. I also got sick after Diwali, so yeah. So, welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Dolly, and I make videos whenever I can. So, yeah, today is Halloween plus Diwali. So, yeah. So I don't know how this is gonna function because we have Diwali also, and at the same time we have Halloween also. I all obviously celebrate Diwali. I don't celebrate Halloween as such, and in either cases, I'm anyways gonna be staying at home alone because everyone is gone. Like my friend has gone to her hometown, and my sister has also gone to her hometown. I mean, our hometown. I couldn't join them because my baby was actually not feeling well. My baby, as in my dog, my sugar, was not feeling well, so I couldn't join them. And I know I look like a mess right now. Actually, this is gonna be a Halloween makeup. This is gonna be very simple. Very, I'm not gonna go for very heavy makeup or something like, very difficult or anything because this is a fun video, okay? I'm just gonna go for a story time. Maybe we can, have some horror stories here and there and some uncanny valley makeup. Uncanny valley makeup, basically, let's just put it very in a simple way. Uncanny means something which is weird and different. Like, for example, like, no, humans, they look a certain way. Now, uncanny is something basically which is trying to look like a human but it is not a human, like for example humanoid robots ho gaye, or maybe people with weird makeup, which I'm actually going to do, or maybe wax statues, stuff like that. You can, this is gonna be my before shower makeup in a way because I have done some safai and I have done some decoration for Diwali, and after this I'm just gonna go and take a bath. Yeah, so this is gonna be my before shower routine. Okay, so let's go back on time, and let me tell you some horror stories from my personal experience. Everything is gonna be my personal experience. It's not gonna be a typical horror story you will hear in the YouTube. क्योंकि मेरे पास खुद की stories बताने का ही है. This is also, I think it's finished. Oh my god. So yeah, while growing up, usually what happens is kids usually they see really weird dreams because I don't know, I don't have the explanation to it, but while growing up, I used to have really, really weird dreams, like really weird dreams. Okay, so there was one dream which I used to see almost every day when I was in Kanpur. I was staying in a colony since my father was in bank. So there, when I was probably around 4 or 5 year old, I used to always see one particular dream where I used to see a woman. Okay, a woman who was wearing a black sari, and I think she was middle aged, not very old, not very young, and she was staring at me through the window. That's what I used to see in my dream every time, and she used to have that weird expression all the time, and that weird expression, I mean, I don't remember her face, but that weird expression literally has stood with me. Like I still remember what was that expression. Like the way she used to look at me was like, So I used to see that dream very often, and I used to get really scared because that window where I used to actually see her in my dream was literally like if my bed is like this, like for example मेरा bed यहाँ पे अभी है, so just on the left side we had a window. We used to stay on a ground floor, so yeah, I could see her in my window and she was staring at me. I used to sleep between my father and my mother. I can't recall whether it was my father or my sister. I can't recall. Fireworks. I can't recall that, but I'm pretty sure I used to sleep between, my mom or my dad or maybe my sister. So I used to always see that dream. It was so frequent. Like every time I used to sleep, most of the days I used to see that dream. And since I was very young, I couldn't figure out what exactly that meant, but that actually gave me chills. In fact, that particular flat where I was staying, it has always been a part of my memory, and I used to find that particular flat really eerie. Like there was nothing wrong happening in our flat or something, like where we were staying. There was nothing wrong which was happening, but in a weird way, that particular building where we were staying, it used to come in my dream as well as my sister's dream very often. Like whenever we used to dream about that particular colony, it used to be always that particular flat. जबकि हम लोग वहाँ पे रुके भी नहीं ज़्यादा. Like we have, like we can say that we have spent most of our childhood there. But as I grew up, like when my memory actually became stronger, when I grew up, when I was in school, maybe in class 7th or 8th, I can't recall right now, I shifted from there to another flat. But then again, I used to still dream about that flat only. In fact, even now, sometimes, I'm not saying it's very often or something, but कई बार ऐसा होता है कि whenever I dream about Kanpur, I dream about that colony, I always see that particular building there, like that particular block, that as if like that block, that flat is calling me to, come and visit me like that. Moving on. So, since we are talking about dreams and stuff, let's talk about the dream which I like recently saw. So, I recently saw, not very recent also, but maybe a year back or maybe a few months back. So I actually dreamt about something which seemed so real that I actually thought that it was not dream, I was actually there. I'm pretty sure you also must have seen such kind of dream where you actually felt that this is not a dream, this is reality, and you are actually there in that dimension, and you are basically living that particular dream complete. So yeah, let's talk about that dream. So what I saw in the dream was that I am basically a teenager again. I'm not teenager in reality, but in that dream I was a teenager again, probably in 15 or 14 like that. And my sister is also, again, she's also young. My parents, both my mom and dad, were young, and my dad was there. Like now I have like I lost my dad in 2014, so yeah, but in that dream I could see him. Okay, so what I saw in my dream was that we were chilling, we were watching TV, and it was night time. Then suddenly there was some kind of announcement, okay, announcement in the city itself. Like there were literally bells ringing, and that alarm sounds you hear, no, that alarm sounds, yeah, that was going on, and some sort of warning was given to everyone. I don't remember, I don't know what was that place where I was staying. It was definitely some sort of society or some sort of flat, because it looked like a flat, it had lift and all. But yeah, I don't know which city it was or something like that. But yeah, we got scared in that dream, we got really scared, and we sort of, like, we were told to close our doors and windows and all that. That was a part of a dream, and we were trying to do that. So what I saw was that when I moved towards the window, I saw one man, okay, and that man was actually telling me to open the window, and he was telling me that he needed help, like he was scared of something, and he needs help, and he needs to come to our flat through that window because he needs help. Now the problem was that we were not in the ground floor. We were somewhere in the top floor. I like in my dream, it was not told to me which floor was it, but definitely not ground floor. Yeah, so that was creepy, which means that man was literally somewhere in the air. And the moment I realized it in the dream, and I said that to that person in the dream, that how come you are near to our window when we are actually not on the ground floor. The moment I said that to that person had a very creepy smile, kind of similar to that same old woman which I saw in the childhood dream. Yeah. So he had that creepy smile of, basically telling me that, oh, like that. And then I was scared shitless. So yeah, I tried closing the window. He kind of stopped me, and like, I can't recall everything, but he was trying to open the window. Okay. And he had certain kind of laser sort of thing which he was using to open the window. I know this dream can sound really weird because at the end of the day it's a dream, right? So yeah, that's what I saw. And the funny part also, what I saw was that through that window I could see a red panda.
Bruh.
Oh my god, this dream sounds so stupid right now suddenly. Yeah, but I saw a red panda. Okay, red panda is actually a species. It's a real thing. You can Google it. It's a very cute animal. But that red panda was not cute because it was very big in size, like how you see the monsters in Powerpuff Girls, no? Yeah, same height. Big ones, towering the buildings and all that. Not towering the buildings, but very much close to the building's height. That's what I saw through the window, and I think that is the reason why we were given the warnings that there are certain weird things roaming around, and we should not allow people, to come to our flat, or even close the windows, because people can attack and all that. That's what warnings were given to us. Now we tried closing the window. Like, I tried closing the window, but that guy was not letting me. And that guy kind of, he was almost entering the space. Now I'm gonna do a very weird kind of contouring. You're gonna be scared mostly. Yeah, just don't be scared, okay? I'm still the same Dolly. So what I saw, that guy who was there on the window was trying to enter inside, okay? And we obviously got really scared, and we started running over here and there. Like, all of us, all four of us, we were running here and there. And उस फ्लैट मतलब उस पर्टिकुलर बिल्डिंग में ना, there was lift also. So what happened was, while we were running, kind of I got separated from my parents and sister. Like, I couldn't see them after that in my dream. And what happened was, I just went into that lift, and so as to obviously save myself. And suddenly, when I went into the lift, what I saw was suddenly that lift ke buttons, na, it just changed. Like, how usually you see now that buttons which are there in the lift, it suddenly changed. It's actually changed because when I entered the lift, okay, I was trying to stop the lift so that my sister can enter or my parents can enter. I was kind of calling them to my side, but they were running, and they couldn't, they were not able to notice me that I was in the lift. And suddenly the door closes, and I was kind of stuck there. Now, लिफ्ट अचानक से चली जाती है ऊपर, like it starts moving upwards. And since I was like doing like this on the lift ka door, suddenly the lift door, it turns. I don't know what is happening. It just turns like that. And when it turns, I just, I could see that, the entire lift design and everything is completely changed now. It doesn't look how it was looking like earlier. The entire door was, colored in a very weird way. Like it, how to put it? Like the entire design and everything was completely changed. It looked as if it did not belong to the same century or same timeline, because it had weird looking buttons. And it had, like, certain gadget sort of setting. I cannot explain it how it looked, but it looked like as if, like how you see Marvel movies, or certain Guardians of the Galaxy kind of movies, so how you see the, like, things there, sort of similar kind of design you could see here. Like it looked very different. It did not look like as if it was a normal normal looking lift. It looked really different. So I obviously got really scared, and I just, kind of pushed myself back in order to see what the hell was going on. And it was moving up. And normally I did not press the button also. It just started moving up, and I actually pressed the button for downwards, like I wanted to go to the ground floor and run. Probably that was the plan or something. I don't exactly why I went to the lift, but yeah, maybe that was the plan. But it started, moving upwards, like really upwards. And it was like, it was not stopping only, it was just going up for some time. And I just kind of was very confused, so I just hold myself back and waited for the lift to reach its destination. Now, after some time, the lift stopped. Okay, lift stopped, and now it was time for me to go and check what exactly happened. And so I just came out of the lift, so as to check whether, on what floor I was. So when I came out and I saw, like, where exactly I was shocked, because firstly, I think as per the dream, I already knew how the top floor looks, and how the balcony on the top, or maybe whatever you call it, chat you call it. So how it looked, but it looked really different, because uh, the moment the door opens and I come out of it, I could see that, there was nothing to step your foot on. It was like, you have just come on the top, like very upper, and now you can see the clouds everywhere. Like they were all clouds and clouds everywhere. And there was one cloud which was near to my feet as well, and I was confused where I should step my foot on. Now, the moment I stepped my foot outside, I don't know why I did it, because if it was actually a truth, my scared ass would have never. So, but I did. I step out of it, and I stepped my foot on that cloud like thing. And weirdly, that started moving like anything. It actually moved from its place, and I could see that, the moment it started moving, it felt as if it was not a cloud, it was some sort of a vehicle which was there to move places, which was there to, take people to different places. It felt like that. And the moment it moved from its position and I could see the other stuff around me, it was very weird, because I could see the buildings which looked like buildings, but they were very different. Like how I told you about lift, right? The lift looked really weird. Similarly, the other buildings which I saw were very weird. Like they did not look like the usual buildings you know see every day. See a lot of clouds. I could see a lot of stones also. They were like some stone like objects which were also floating around in the sky. God knows what it was, whether it was a meteor or something, or maybe just like a cloud. It was also like something to move around people. I could see. I did not see any person like me on the clouds though. I just saw some stones and like that. So flying cars, we have imagined that it's gonna be flying cars after some years. Just like that, I could see flying clouds carrying people. And then suddenly it started taking me downwards, like as if it was ऐसे आप आपका plane नीचे उतरता है ना, just like that. It was descending like that. So I wow. So I was just waiting to see where it was taking me, and I waited like that. So to my surprise, it took me to a shop, like a shopping area sort of place. Wow, it's very weird. I mean, it took me to a very normal looking place where people were, gathered in order to shop things. Like there were, just like normally you see, markets which are crowdy. Just like that, those markets were also pretty much crowdy. I have no clue what they were selling, but I think it was food, but it was very crowded. I saw like two boys who looked normal, and since I was also a teenager in that particular dream, they are also of my age as per the dream. Like they were also 14, 15-year old, like that. And I kind of called them over to my side so as to ask them really important questions. Now you must be knowing what I was actually trying to ask. The question which was there in my head was, what was this city, and what was the time right now, like year and all that. I wanted to ask that because obviously I was very curious, because somehow the other way I understood that I was not in the same dimension. And I called them so that I can ask them the same question. And it's pretty weird that the moment they were about to answer my question so that this entire mystery can be solved, I woke up. Yeah, because my friend woke me up. She was like, she woke me up. I was sleeping in the afternoon. I used to work from home then, so I was literally taking a nap in the middle. I don't work in the same company, so I can say all that now. So yeah, I was sleeping like mindlessly, just like that. And yeah, she woke me up, and I had a very weird feeling afterwards. ऐसा लगा था जैसे कि मतलब as if I was in some other dimension and I was taken away from that, because I couldn't feel at all that whatever I saw was actually just a dream. I genuinely felt that it was not a dream, it was reality, and I felt like it was like a parallel universe I went to. And since I asked questions which I shouldn't have asked, like I asked the timeline and everything, I was pulled back to my own dimension. I know I sound like a stupid person right now, but that is the thought which came in my head उस time पे. And I got so obsessed about this topic of parallel universe and stuff like that. And I started kind of uh, kind of looked for the videos explaining it or stuff like that. And I did find few videos where people were, it could be a hoax, it could be a conspiracy theory or something. I'm pretty sure it's a conspiracy theory, because I also for a fact huh, I also for a fact I don't have any kind of proof to it. But yeah, people were like if there are parallel universes which are moving alongside our universe, where we also exist there in some other timeline. Like if I am like the adult 30-year-old Dolly, the Dolly there would not be a 30-year-old, she will be like in her 20s, 50s, or maybe a kid, but same phase as mine. She might have the same family which I am having, but the decisions which I have made in my life, or any kind of things which I have done in my life, she might not be doing the same thing. She might be doing something else. Like, for example, I wanted to be a fashion designer, but I ended up being an engineer. Okay, so maybe that dolly, she went for, fashion designing, and she became a fashion designer, just like that. So basically being the same person, but maybe the choices could be different, or maybe the choices are also same. You never know. But yeah, you share the same kind of body and face and everything. Is very creepy. And yeah, these two timelines are running together, and sometimes uh, they can kind of, spiraled up with each other. Like, you kind of end up being in that timeline, and the other person who is that dolly comes in your timeline, and the things can get a bit confusing. Like, there's a Mandela effect. People say the Mandela effect exists because we are basically kind of moving our timeline sometimes by mistake, which is why certain things which we saw in a particular way, like for example, if I had a brown bag, okay, in one timeline, in another timeline that bag is not brown, that bag is black, but we have this memory that that bag I had was actually brown. Why it is black? Like, both the people in the two different timelines have that thought. Now once their timeline gets kind of so they are kind of mind boggled. They think that, oh, this was black or this was brown. Why is this black or this is brown? If you're trying to understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that is what happens. Like, people, they kind of shift their timelines and they get confused because things are kind of, minor things changes, and that kind of boggles your mind. This is not the perfect explanation of Mandela effect, but maybe you can read more about it. It is a lot of things. Like, it's in fact, if I talk about Mandela effect, it's gonna it should have its own video because it's a huge topic. It has a lot of examples and very fun stuff too. So yeah, I think it will need a lot of research also, so I cannot just speak about it just like that. And I actually, to be honest, I don't have a topic to talk about it right now. I think we are almost done with our makeup. Almost, I won't say completely. I just have to add or subtract certain things. Okay, let's talk about sleep paralysis. I know this is not a horror topic in general. Like, a lot of people, they go through sleep paralysis and they are not sure whether it's actually, their they are going through a sleep paralysis or it's actually reality. But yeah, I do have something to tell you about it. uh, I am not getting scared of it because I see it as sleep paralysis itself. But I personally feel it's a very interesting topic. If I, want to think more about it or talk more about it, like that. So one time, like when I was in class 9th or 10th, I used to get sleep paralysis a lot, many times. Like, maybe I was going through something, or I was having a lot of stress, because it is said that when you have a lot of stress, you usually, kind of, go through all this. So one time I had the words of it. Like, that's why I kind of, remember it, because it was the worst paralysis attack I had. Okay. What happened was, in the afternoon, I was just sleeping. We used to have like a hall and a bedroom inside. Since we were staying in a colony, वहाँ पे घर छोटे छोटे से होते थे. So I was sleeping in the hall. Sleeping hall में we used to have a bed. So I was just sleeping there. Now what happened was, suddenly I felt like my entire body is like stuck in one place. I'm not able to move it at all. Like, I'm trying my best to move it, but it is just not moving. Okay. And suddenly I felt like, somebody is trying to choke me. Like I could feel like, there is a hand on my neck, and that hand is pretty much choking me. And I could feel that hand, like it was a man ka haath. It was a very manly hand, because it was very rough. So yeah, and then I don't look creepy. I look cute. I don't know why I cannot look creepy. I want to look creepy. Okay, sorry for distraction. Okay, so what happened was I felt that hand. Then, since if you have experienced this kind of thing, like sleep paralysis, you must be knowing that your entire body is like, in one place. You cannot move anything. So yeah, I was not even able to open my eyes properly. Like it was like this. Okay, so when my hands were not, I was not able to move my hand or I was not able to even utter a word. My eyes were somewhat open, so I could see just on the edge of my bed, like on the front edge of the bed, I could see a man. Okay, I couldn't see his face properly. It was like a transparent kind of face, probably because I couldn't see any. I sorry, my table is moving. I couldn't figure out any of the features he had on his face, but all I could see was that that man was staring at me. He was wearing some sort of a cap or a hat. It was definitely not a cap. It was hat, but a different sort of hat. It was like, how those old people wear hats in hilly areas, like that, like those cap sort of hats are there, no? Yeah, I think that was the kind of hat he was wearing, and he was wearing a coat sort of a thing, like proper seemed like a person from hills. And I got really freaked out. I got really scared when I saw him, and I could feel his hands that he was kind of trying to choke me. I tried to come out of that mode, and I woke up after that. But that feeling, obviously it stayed, and I was very scared. But my lazy ass kind of, couldn't stop me from sleeping, and I went to the other room and I slept again. When I slept again, I this time again I got another paralysis attack, but this time I did not see any kind of person on the front, but I hear certain voices in my head or in my ears, and it was very confusing because I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I woke up again. After that, I did not sleep. This was the experience I had. I don't know, it's creepy for you all or not, but I personally felt it was very creepy for some reason, because I was sleeping peacefully and this happened. And I kind of, when I saw that person in front of me, it was creepy for me because I don't know that man. And yeah. Then recently I come across this term called hat man, okay? And you can Google it. Basically, it's like again a very, you can say, a conspiracy theory sort of a thing, where people have literally seen a man who wears a hat. He comes in the night, and yeah, you can see him in your dream, and whenever you see him, you cannot move your body like that. So the same description which I had when I saw him. So I got scared again, obviously, because what did I saw Hatman? I don't know. Maybe it was just my hallucination and my imagination. This could be a possibility since I was stressed. But yeah, the description was completely matching, and it gave me shivers when I read about Hatman. find it that scary. But this is what is the end result. It seems like as if I've not washed my face from a long time. Maybe I need to learn better. I am not good with this. Like I've never done such kind of makeup, so obviously, oops, sorry. So obviously it's new for me. But yeah, this is what it is. So we have reached the end of the video. Yeah, this is the end result, and we are done with this video now. And do like and subscribe to my video if you like my video. I am trying to come up with as much storytime videos as I can because there was a good response on my old video which I made. Yeah, but I can't do it often because it takes time to edit. Yeah, but whenever I have something amazing and interesting stories to tell you, I'll definitely come up with story time videos for you all. Do let me know if you like this video or not. Happy Halloween, happy Diwali to everyone. With this face, I'm saying happy Diwali. Yeah. Yeah, happy Diwali to everyone. Do let me know your stories in the comment section because I would also love to know your horror stories or your experiences with sleep paralysis or any sort of dream which you have seen and you couldn't, get it out of your head from a long time. Yeah. With that, bye bye. This is scary or this is scary? I think this is more scary.